Hey, what's up guys? It's Fury. Today we're going to talk about different ways in which we can get into the tree at the start of any run. Some of these methods take a little bit longer, some very short, depending on what you have available in the mines in your seed and a little bit of RNG. Why would we want to do this? Well, because the music notes in there are amongst the greatest spells of the entire game. And I'm not just talking about the secret songs you can play for different effects. You can make very complex damage wands with them, or very simple wand builds using spells you can easily find at the beginning areas of a run. You don't have to do anything too crazy to these in order to be able to pretty much one-shot everything through the main loop of the world. Dunker Slam recently uploaded a really nice video showcasing the note spells and explaining the mechanics behind them. I'll link that right up here, you should definitely check it out. Anyway, most of these methods rely on you being able to get over the tree, or at least on top of it. And there are a variety of ways to do that. I've covered most of them throughout multiple videos on this channel over the last 3 years, but here's a little refresher of some of these at least. Obviously, the first way to get over the tree and over anything else you might want to get over is with a teleport bolt. And while it is possible to find one of these in the mines, they're fairly uncommon, so I wouldn't really rely on that. Mud sprayed from a flask or collected in a pouch and then sprayed from that sticks to the side of the tree and allows you to climb it that way. Levitadium is a fairly common find in the mines, and just one small sip of it will give you more than enough boost to get over the tree. But if you can't find Levitadium in the mines, then we're going to use our knowledge of alchemy in order to make some. Because one of the ingredients of Levitadium is also very commonly found in the mines, Flummuxium. But if you can't find that, worm pheromone is also very commonly found. And with worm pheromone and one other ingredient found very close to spawn on the tree 99% of the time, we can make Flummuxium by combining worm pheromone and worm blood. Anyway, no matter how you do it, eventually you'll end up with some Flummuxium, and then it's just a matter of finding some of the copper powder in the mines. There's a lot of this stuff, but we're gonna focus on trying to find one of the big veins that spawns above one of the Holy Mountain portal areas, because then we might find a very handy pile of copper just sitting here like this. Just spray some Flummuxium on that, and then boom, it creates Levitadium. If you can't find one of these convenient piles, or it's completely submerged in another liquid, you can look for another large vein someplace, and then carefully clear some of the rock and dirt out of the way to expose the copper vein itself, and then carefully pour Flummuxium on that. Either way, you only need a little bit of it. I would try to get some of it into a flask, because just one sip from that flask will give you enough time to get over the tree. Anyway, that was your lesson on Levitadium. A little time consuming maybe, but hey, the game gives us a lot of tools that a lot of people just don't take advantage of. Alchemy is one of those. And if we really wanted to or really needed to, we can get over the tree using just a tablet by tablet surfing. Basically what you want to do here is put your cursor very close to your body underneath you, near your feet. Then levitate up until you're about to run out of levitation energy, and then very gently toss the tablet underneath you while moving your cursor up high above you. Then you kick. If you did this correctly, you would have recovered a little bit of levitation energy by actually standing on the tablet while it's in midair. Then you just quickly grab the tablet, and then you repeat this process to get as high as you need to get. It does take some practice, I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but learning the ways of the tablet is a skill well worth pursuing. And now, finally, for the different ways we can use to get into the tree. Obviously, you can find black holes or luminous drills and get into the tree that way. Even the worst luminous drill wand will work, eventually. And it's 2 black holes from the roof of the Curse of Greed pocket, or 1 black hole from the Bamlam Monument side to get in. However, what about plasma? Well, you can throw out the first 2 wands because the normal plasma doesn't work, but plasma cutter works perfectly. You just gotta obviously be very careful because, as we all know, plasma can be very deadly. But if you're careful, it gets you in just fine. Black holes and luminous drills are all well and good, but they're not exactly common finds in the mines. So you can't exactly do that on any seed in the beginning of a run. What you can make use of are the worm eggs on the tree. Like I showed earlier, sometimes, pretty rarely, the first egg, the one that's more reachable, is not actually a worm egg, but something else. But I would say that at 99% of the time that I check the tree anyway, the first egg is a worm egg. So with 1, 2, or 3, hopefully worm eggs, we're going to get on top of the tree. And the first thing I'm going to do here, just to be safe, is we're going to destroy all the fungus. Interestingly enough, the fungus also can destroy the tree wood. Now, we got to just rely on a little bit of RNG, because we're going to break the worm eggs up here and hope that we have at least a medium worm, which we do. And now it's just a matter of waiting around up here and not luring the worm too close to the edges of the tree so it doesn't fall down someplace else, for it to tunnel down deep into the tree, opening the music chamber for you. This is obviously RNG, and you have to rely on the AI of the worm. And then, of course, when you are in here, be careful, because there is a worm that wants to eat you. Like I said, this does rely on RNG, because you could break all 3 eggs, and all 3 could just birth the little baby worms that don't actually tunnel through solid objects. However, if you can easily get above the tree, especially if you start with mud, it's well worth just going straight to the left, climbing the tree, getting hopefully all 3 worm eggs, and then trying to get in the tree immediately before you even go down into the mines. Next, we could get inside the tree using only unstable or normal teleportadium. That's because the tree is actually its own biome. And the way that teleportadium works, even the unstable variant, is that it teleports you inside the biome you're already in. Obviously, the unstable version is just going to teleport you to random spots within that biome, but still within that biome. Eventually, you're going to end up inside the kantele room. Of course, using normal teleportadium is a lot easier because, if you didn't realize this, normal teleportadium tries to teleport you in the direction of your mouse cursor. So it's a lot easier to control where you're teleporting to. Trying to teleport into a hole inside the tree is not 100% foolproof. It likes to try to teleport you on top of the tree. But if you didn't realize that normal teleportadium had these mechanics, now you know. You can possibly find vats of normal teleportadium in the mines. Of course, that relies on your seed. You can get it from an alchemy room or from an alchemist enemy throwing it at you. Or more commonly, you can find unstable teleportadium on potion stands. And for another quick alchemy lesson, keep in mind that if you spray unstable teleportadium into slime, it becomes normal teleportadium. And if you spray normal teleportadium into whiskey, it becomes unstable teleportadium. Imagine that. And if you're feeling a little bit more risky and adventurous, you can get over the tree, grab the eye, and then head down into the alchemy lab. Because obviously there are a lot of magical liquids, natural pools of them in here, and you could find some teleportadium there. Of course, be careful. If you end up accidentally using up all your teleportadium as you teleport into the kantele room, you can and will get stuck in here and softlock. However, during the Christmas holiday season in-game, from December 23rd to December 26th, you can actually tinker with wands in here. So you can, if you get stuck, use the portal spell to get out. During these 4 days, you'll be able to tinker in here anytime you go in, not just the first time you're in there. So it's a nice little bonus gift for the holidays. Our next method for accessing the inside of the tree is a pretty long trek, so I personally would only do this if I started with a flask of acceleratium or if I found one in the mines, because it's going to have us traveling all the way to the right side of the world past the desert, where we climb the EDR wall and then obtain the essence of earth, which we don't want, so we trade it in at the pawn shop here for the Tanner Kiwi or Earthstone, which we then lug all the way back to the tree in order to access it that way. Keep in mind, obviously, very importantly, kicking while you have a Tanner Kiwi in your inventory, not even selected, just in your inventory, will cause you to trigger earthquakes, which can kill you pretty easily. So please be careful, but you can make use of this mechanic in order to slowly dig into the kantele room. However, we're going to do things the quick way, and we're going to fall off the tree on the left side. Just be careful, there might be enemies over here. We're going to grab the eye, and then we're just going to dig in right over here near the Bamalam statue. Quick and easy. Of course, this is probably the longest method for getting into this room, but hey, if you have no other way, it's fun, and you get to see the sights. And the final method I'm putting in this video in order to access the tree from the beginning of any run is to cheese the bridge boss. Squidward, or the pit boss, as I like to call him. I have a video just on this. It does take practice. It's not an easy thing to do right off the bat. You gotta know the rhythm. But if you are able to consistently do it, he may drop a really nice wand that you can use to immediately access the tree, or he always drops the Matasad spell, which you can slap on one of his wands real quick down in the first holy mountain, and then use it to escape the holy mountain before using it once again to access the tree. Of course, watch out for all the worms. That goes without saying, I think, but I'm just going to say it anyway, just in case. There are other ways you might be able to access the tree, such as tablet digging, if you're really good at that. I did not feel like trying quite yet. And again, the reason why you would want to do this is you can make some pretty insane wands using note spells right from the beginning of a game, and they scale with your run. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found this useful, at least some of the information I put in this video. There's a lot, and I hope that you have a nice day. Happy noiting.